This was a zebra carriage parked outside Buckingham Palace in 1900. The idea was developed by Lord Walter Rothschild that even wild animals like zebra could be tamed for domestic work like pulling carts. Cow shoes used by moonshiners during the Prohibition era to hide their footprints, June 18, 1924. Jane Mansfield is often talked about in the same lines as Marilyn Monroe. She too is believed to have been with multiple men during her lifetime, including Robert and John F. Kennedy. While she was often photographed nude for the Playboy, this is just a candid shot of her playing the piano at home. This is a shot from the Batman series. The opening scene of the show always had Batman and Robin scaling up a building where they would meet a wide variety of characters peeking through the windows. Now we know how the scene was captured with this behind-the-scenes shot. The people of Philadelphia, United States, looking at a new map of Europe following the changes as a result of World War I, 1918. This map was also displayed in Chicago, Pittsburgh, and Washington. Emily Banks played the role of Yeoman Tonia Barrows on an episode called Shore Leave in the original Star Trek series. Her coy looks suggest an entirely different kind of shore leave. Apart from this role, she also appeared in the Elvis movie Live a Little, Love a Little. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt shakes hands with a young Lyndon B. Johnson while Gov. James Allred of Texas stands between them both, in Galveston, Texas, on May 12, 1937. This is a shot from the movie Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. The car that she is resting on is the Elvira Macabre Mobile, which is essentially a customized 1958 T-Bird by George Barris. Elvira's vampire-ish appearance and quirky nature soon made her famous with the American audience. Robin Williams was the star of the show Mork and Mindy, and as a part of the show, he dressed up as a cheerleader to cheer for the Denver Broncos during an actual game against the Patriots. This stunt was performed in front of 74,000 people at the Mile High Stadium. This bike belonged to an 8-year-old boy who forgot his bike, and there are many legends as to how the bike got suspended inside the tree, 7 feet above the ground. The easiest explanation is that the tree was a sapling that grew around the bike and eventually became a tree. On July 5, 1946, French designer Louis Reard surprised the world with a new swimsuit, a daring two-piece swimsuit, now known as a bikini. When it was introduced, it would later become a summer staple for American women. This contest was held in Hastings, UK. The idea was to find the English version of the most beautiful woman in Hollywood. The contest holders did not mind body shaming since it was the 50s and it was not an issue. With Marilyn, it was more of her charm that made her who she was. Martin Luther King Jr. Photographed among a crowd during the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom on August 28, 1963. At this event, MLK delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. This sweet old granny has grown marijuana plants in a wheelbarrow in her backyard. However, if it were more modern times, it would not have been a problem since California has legalized marijuana. However, we are sure that the cops will not lock up the granny for her crime. This was a pretty forgettable movie even though it had Patrick Swayze, Liam Neeson, and Bill Paxton as the main cast. Ben Stiller and Helen Hunt also appeared in the movie but in smaller roles. We are rather surprised at how the movie could have gone by unnoticed if the casting was this strong. Sergeant William Henry Black Death Johnson of the 369th Infantry Regiment, Harlem Hellfighters, wearing his Croix de Guerre medal in circa 1918. In North France, Johnson single-handedly fought off a German raiding party, receiving 21 wounds in order to save fellow soldier Private Needham Roberts. Most famous for her role in the ABC sitcom Bewitched, here is a picture of Elizabeth Montgomery coming out of her trailer on the set. She was born into the show business, with her father being Robert Montgomery, a screen actor, and her mother being Elizabeth Allen, a Broadway star. Beauty is on the inside, right? This contest was held at a chiropractor's convention in 1956. All three were picked not only by their apparent beauty and their x-rays, but also by their standing posture, reported the Tribune back in the day. Each girl stood on a pair of scales, 1 foot to each, and the winning trio each registered exactly half her weight on each scale, confirming the correct standing posture. Believed to be the final photograph of Nicholas II of Russia. It shows him at Tsarskoye Selo as guards watch on after his abdication. Taken at some point after March in 1917. The completed head of the Statue of Liberty on display at the 3rd Paris World Fair, Exposition Universelle, in Paris, France in 1878. The RMS Titanic passenger liner in Southampton, England just before it left for its maiden voyage to New York City on April 10, 1912. The Titanic sank after striking an iceberg in the early hours on the 15th of April, in which an estimated 1,500 died of the 2,200 passengers and crew on board. At first glance, it looks like a computer chip, but in reality, it is just a picture taken by World Press Photo Award-winning German photographer Michael Wolf. He captured the high-rise apartments in Hong Kong for his Kaleidoscope series Architecture of Density. Like everyone else in those days, Alfred Hitchcock was also stung with Beatlemania. Here he is, impersonating Ringo Starr from the Beatles in his TV show, Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Delivering a dinosaur replica in one piece can be very difficult for museums. Trucks can't be used since they do not have enough width. This is why the replicas are often transported via a helicopter, as shown in the picture of a dinosaur delivery to the Museum of Science in 1984. Legendary boxer Jack Dempsey, left, mock-punching illusionist and stuntman Harry Houdini, center, while legendary boxer Benny Leonard, right, holds onto Houdini. The photograph was taken at a publicity event in circa 1920s. One of the last surviving veterans of the American Revolutionary War, Lemuel Cook, photographed in 1864. He served in the 2nd Continental Light Dragoons of the Continental Army from the age of 16 in 1775 until his discharge in 1784. Cook was wounded in battle multiple times. He died at the age of 106 on May 20, 1866. Prisoners that were held in Buchenwald concentration camp near Weimar in Germany, photographed after they were liberated by the U.S. troops of the 80th Division. This photograph was taken on the 16th of April 1945, 5 days after liberation. Nobel laureate Elie Wiesel can be seen on the 2nd row, 7th from left. A circa 1936 photograph of Gutzon Borglum's model for the Mount Rushmore National Memorial. This shows that the original plan was for the heads to also have bodies and hands. This came to an end when Gutzon died in 1941, and then the project ran out of money after his son took over. Famous French Impressionist painter Claude Monet, standing on a bridge with a visitor in his garden in Giverny, France in 1922. A group of Japanese samurai photographed in front of the Sphinx in Giza, Egypt during a visit to the country, 1864.